pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Changes or revisions to the regular consent agenda?
I do. I have one. Item A. Due to some circumstances, Mrs. Keenan cannot be here tonight, so we are taking her off the agenda.
Consent agenda. Do you have a motion in a second to approve the regular and consent agendas as amended?
No questions, I'll make a motion.
Second it. Let's make a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended. Lisa seconded. All those in favor? Carries. Students of the month. Start with Central.
Central Elementary and Southern. So if you have someone to talk about. Yep.
My student of the month is Sophie Priest. Sophie, come on up. Sophie Priest is my 5th grade student of the month, and I put down that she's our student council alternate this year, and she was on our spell bowl team last year when we got 6th place in the state. She's also on spell bowl this year. I forgot to put down that she's in Beat Club. She was in it last year, and she's going to join this year. And she's very helpful in the classroom. She helps me out. If I need an errand run, she will run errands for me. And she works well with the students, and she will help them out. Like if they need help on their computers, she goes and helps them get on Google Classrooms. We've had some new students that have had issues, and she helps them. And she tries to do her best on everything that she turns in. And she takes her time so she doesn't do more work. She exemplifies a good citizen. She's really nervous today. And she's counted to do the right thing at all times. She's very dependable and trustworthy. She's not going to lie to me. And if I'm not in the room, she'll do what she's supposed to. And if any of the teachers need help, she'll help them out, or any of the students. And she's a great asset to Central Elementary.
Congratulations, Stephanie.
Fillmore?
Okay, if I close the door. Fillmore Student of the Month is Ella Smith. So Ella, come on up here. Dr. Smith, South Putnam School Board members, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Ella Smith. She's a 5th grader at Fillmore Elementary School. She is our September Student of the Month. Ella is the daughter of Samantha and Wayne Smith. She has a younger sister, Avery, who's in 2nd grade. Ella consistently demonstrates our school's core values of being engaged, respectful, and sincere in her positive attitude towards her learning, her school responsibilities, and her relationships with peers and teachers. She works hard to apply what she already knows to the new ideas that she's learning. She asks questions when she needs clarification. She is organized, she is careful about her work, and always produces detailed, neatly completed assignments. We are very honored to have her also as one of our student council members. She also, outside of academics and things like that, she really enjoys playing sports, softball being one of her very favorite sports. She also enjoys spending time with her 2 dogs, and she just loves being outdoors. Ella's smiling personality adds brightness to our school days, especially mine, since she's one of mine. She has a good sense of humor and a playfulness that are fun to see. She is a loyal friend and treats her peers and the teachers with respect and kindness. She is a trustworthy, sincere individual who is well liked by all. I believe that Ella deserves this recognition for her actions, her attitudes, and her accomplishments. So, school board, this is Ella Smith. There you go, my darling. She is one of the best. I also want to take the opportunity, I know sometimes Dr. Smith likes us to kind of brag on things that are going on in our area. Fillmore was lucky to be included in the Putnam County Mural Project. And so across from the school, we are having a mural put on one of the businesses in Fillmore. And the kids actually got to take an active role in giving the artist, Holly Sims, who taught here for a while at South Putnam, ideas about what to put on it. And then on Monday, they actually got an opportunity to actually start it and paint part of the building and get ready for the mural that will be there. So if you're ever out that way, it's still in the works, but you can really see what's going to be happening to it. So she said it would be about 4 days, 5 days, I'm not sure, Ella. Please, drive through Fillmore, come by the school, and see that beautiful mural, please. Kids take a lot of pride in it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Howdy. Middle school student, and neither of my students are here this evening. I think they're both busy. The first one is Addie Brinkman. She's our South Putnam Middle School Student of the Month. She was nominated by Mr. Arrett, and he said that Addie has been one of the top students in advanced 8th grade science. She has performed very well on the tests and lab reports. Her overall quality of work has been outstanding. It is evident that she takes pride in everything she does. There have also been many times that she has helped other students with their assignments and reports. It's great to see Addie taking a leadership role in the class. So Addie Brinkman is our middle school student of the month. And our high school student of the month is Mr. Jackson Heyman. And Jackson was nominated by his teacher, Mrs. Henry. And she said, one day I was going to be absent from school to take my son to the doctor. So I asked Jackson if he would lead the class discussion scheduled for that class period. We went over the talking points and he said, sure, no problem. Later that night, I got a remind message from a different student who said it was a great experience and everyone had fun and learned a lot. Jackson told me it had been a disaster and let Mrs. Dixon know that he had a greater appreciation now for his teachers. He has chosen to take a heavier load of coursework this senior year, and so far he's been a valuable asset to my AP government community. He's also kind to our younger students, as I witnessed him teaching at the football youth camp, and the kids really gravitated towards him. Character is what you do when no one is watching, and I think Jackson is growing in this, and I'm really proud of him, Mrs. Henry. So Jackson Heyman is our high school student of the month.
Thank you. It is a school night, so if you'd like to, actually you can do so. Next up is the financial update.
I'll go on with the financial report. As reflected in the cash flow reports in your board packets, our fund balances and corporate finances continue to remain very strong. Our current enrollment is up as well, which will reflect an additional funding as we discussed from our last board meeting. Specifically, as of yesterday, we are at 47 students from the spring 2022 ADM to and 37 students from last fall. So we are doing consistently well there and very pleased with those numbers. The strong financial status is going to allow us to address our current needs while developing a proactive approach to our future needs. We will have more financial updates and insights later in the board meeting with our guests to share their information.
Quick question.
Yes.
Are other schools in the area seeing increases, decreases? Is this kind of a...
From the conversations that I had with some of the others, some of them are remaining fairly steady and some have lost a few students. I'm not sure where they may have.
Well, we're up, right?
Legislative update? Do you have anything?
Yeah, I do. One thing in particular that I thought was interesting. And this was released on the 2nd of September, and that's the Indiana Learns. So the Indiana Department of Education announced a tutoring grant to help young Hoosiers in 4th and 5th grade get back on track. Eligible students receive $500 from the state to spend with approved tutoring providers. School districts have the opportunity to contribute an additional $250 to student accounts. And when districts choose to make this local contribution, the state will provide a matching $250 for a grand total of $1,000. So part of the reason they did this is because you're seeing these 4th and 5th graders across the country and locally as well, not so much in South Putnam. I think we held pretty strong, but you're seeing a reduction in their abilities to read at the levels they should be reading and doing math. I'll just mention those two in particular. So I would recommend to all parents that may be watching this or here that you seek out the Indiana Learns program, especially for your 4th and 5th graders, teachers as well in those grades. If you could bring that up, that may actually help quite a bit for the students and actually may help them excel in some cases, because I don't know what the full qualifications are. It basically says you got to be a student of Indiana, a student that resides in Indiana. You're currently enrolled or attending an Indiana school. I think we can pretty much cover that, right? You do have to qualify for federal free or reduced lunch, and then the student scored below proficiency in both math, English, or language on the I-Learn as a 3rd and 4th grader. So I'll leave that to teachers and parents to seek out. To me, that was the biggest, most important thing that came out in the last month. And that's it.
Thanks, Frank. Review of the bus route and safety policies.
Good evening, everyone. Under Indiana Code 20-27-10-0.5, on or before September 1st of 2019 and each September 1st thereafter, each school corporation, charter school, and accredited non-public school that provides transportation for students must review the school board's school bus routes and school bus safety policies to improve the safety of students and adults. So I have done that, made sure all of our routes are at locations and the bus stops are safe. We're doing as much pickup and drop off door side as we can. And in some areas this year where we've had new stops, I've requested the county to install some signage that says school bus stop, ahead or something like that. That way it can alert drivers. And then working hand in hand with the deputy sheriff to process stop arm violations and issue tickets as needed. Actually had one this week where a guy fought the ticket, which was then set a court date and a hearing. And so our video was very helpful in that hearing because it was open and shut case pretty much, as the driver, myself, and the deputy sheriff each got to speak on behalf of that stop arm violation, and then the video was shown, and so clear cut. So we're in good shape safety-wise.
Thank you, Brad.
Consideration of college and career readiness liaison.
Excuse me. Karen Haven has been working with our school in the capacity of college and career readiness liaison for many years, and we are seeking approval this evening to renew this relationship again for this coming year. She does an absolutely amazing job and has had extensive experience with results with incredible opportunities for our students. So I'm just seeking approval for her renewal.
Mr. Hill, could you tell us a little bit about what Karen does for the students and kind of in relation to what guidance does and can't do, and then what she does? And we hear a lot of good things, and we're just kind of curious. I mean, I'm new to this, so
I think, probably the biggest benefit is Karen picks up some of those pieces that can't be done necessarily in the school day or school building, or, some of the times that it's a little messier a little bit if the school gets involved, like when we sit and looking with families at financial stuff with FAFSA, we don't really wanna be that, we don't wanna cross that kind of realm a little bit. So that's a big piece. I think sometimes it's just having that kind of third party. We have a lot of parents who are like, that's great, yeah, like here's my, taxes, here's all of this, and other times like, we don't wanna tell you that stuff, you know what I mean? And so just trying to advise that, but then, just helping us with setting up industry tours and college visits and, doing some of the career counseling, helping set up senior seminars, does mock interviews, resume writing, just a lot of those things that, our counselors do those too, and it's just trying to bring a third person that's got that experience. Karen, we're fortunate here, she lives in our county, but she travels all around the state doing this, so she brings ideas back to us too, like, hey, I saw this really cool thing, that cool thing. So for the pennies on the dollar that we pay, it's a value well worth it.
Does she have a set, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
does she have a set schedule? Like, does she plan with the counselors, okay, on this day, as far as when they do the
Yeah,
interviews?
so they have the sophomore industry tours and college visits scheduled, I don't know, here in the next 30 days. I don't remember if it's towards the end of the month or in October. Our senior seminar is set, and then they just schedule things out, when she's going to be here. And then towards the spring, as we get there, it's just a lot more fluid because kids are like, hey, I think I do want to look at maybe a secondary option. And hey, great, okay, well, let's meet, you know what I mean? And then the other piece that she's kind of done informally for us is helping us with scholarship interview preps and stuff like that. We've had the last 2 Lily winners, and she does a lot with those kiddos, specifically kind of prepping with those kiddos too. So.
There are nothing but good things coming from those two. About. Thank you.
Yep.
I have a motion to approve Karen as the college and career readiness.
So moved.
Joe made a motion. Do I have a second? Joe seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries. Consideration of teacher appreciation grant policy.
Every year at this time, we seek approval for the Teacher Appreciation Grant, also known as the TAG grant. The policy has had a few adjustments to definitions and required language based on feedback from the state that received from last year's submission. But the core aspects of the qualifications and compensation remain the same as it was last year. Therefore, the seeking approval on that policy so we can submit to the state later this week.
I move to approve.
Lisa made a motion to approve the teacher appreciation grant policy. Wes seconded. All those in favor? All right. As we move into a couple hearings, we need to suspend the regular meeting at this time. Can I have a motion to suspend the regular meeting?
Second.
Greg made a motion to suspend. Wes seconded. All those in favor? All right, so now we need to open the 2023 bus replacement capital gains projects and the budget hearing. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Wes made a motion to open the bus capital projects and budget hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Joe seconded. All those in favor? All right.
Before we take public comment, because this is a hearing, I'd like to point out there is an increase in the debt service that was advertised on Form 3 from our previous meeting, but it has been advertised properly with the change. And that directly relates to the information that we're going to receive later in this meeting regarding future bonds. We have to account for the anticipated debt service of the bonds in the 2023 budget, but again, all with the goal of maintaining the 2021 tax rate neutrality of the $1.3201.
Anybody? Terry?
Do you have any public comment?
All right. Now that we have concluded the public comment section for this hearing, I'll entertain a motion and a second to close.
So moved.
Wes made a motion to close. Lisa seconded. All those in favor? Next up is the collective bargaining hearing. Hosted by South Putnam Community School Corporation and the South Putnam Classroom Teachers Association, I will entertain a motion in a second to open the 22-23 collective bargaining hearing. I've made a motion to open the collective bargaining hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Wes seconded. All those in favor?
Okay, I'm up again. As part of the collective bargaining requirements, the CTA and the district, we have to hold a hearing that's hosted by both of us to take public comment for the upcoming 2022-2023 collective bargaining agreement. The informal bargaining that we could do was from July 1st until today. It ends today. And then what we call formal bargaining, where we can start discussions and get into things with information and make some tentative agreements and so forth, will start tomorrow, September 15th. So we just need to find out if there's any comments from the public. We'll gladly hear that, and then we'll go from there.
No problem. Okay. I do have something to add to that as well. The informal bargaining that Ms. McCammon has talked about has been progressing well. We've been having some very good discussions in the informal bargaining part. Our goal, and I believe Ms. McCammon would agree, that we're trying to work very collaboratively. Sorry, it's been a long day. We had fog this morning. So, working collaboratively to build a collective bargaining agreement that's financially responsible, but also strives to retain our amazing, hardworking teachers while attracting highly qualified teachers when vacancies do occur. I'm very confident that we will make swift and effective gains as we work toward this collective agreement, while maintaining Indiana Education Employment Relations Board, also known as ERB, compliance. And so that's some of our goals that we have as we move forward. Just wanted to make those comments.
And we appreciate all the hard work that everyone does and puts into this to allow it to proceed. And thank you, and I thank all my people who are behind the scenes too, that we do stuff. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Now that we have concluded the public comment for this hearing, I will entertain a motion in a second to close the 22-23 collective bargaining hearing. Lisa made a motion to close. Wes seconded. All those in favor? Carries. Right. Since we have completed both hearings, we'll resume the regular meeting at this time. I will entertain a motion in a second to resume the regular meeting. Greg made a motion to resume. Do I have a second? Second. Lisa seconded. All those in favor? All right. Consideration of purchase of equipment for the Ag Mechanics program.
Mr. Yule, would you like to speak to the Ag Mechanics program?
Sure. Yeah. This line is here. Mr. Frazier's not able to be with us tonight, but pretty excited. Mr. Frazier went to Texas State University for 10 days, was it?
Yes,
10 days right before school started, those first couple days. So appreciated him taking his own time to go there and live in a dorm and go to unair-conditioned labs in Texas. He told me, he made sure that I knew they were unair-conditioned labs in Texas in August. But I got a lot of training through the program there. I think it was 20 or 25 ag teachers from across the country there. So pretty cool. And just got a lot of further instruction and got some certifications while I was there too, in welding and metalwork and small engines and all kinds of other stuff. So that was really cool. And then through the kind of the advice of those two instructors, some of the ICASE curriculum, the Indiana Ag teachers, and then other ag teachers, and kind of put that list together of, hey, you have a finite amount of dollars, you have an infinite amount of wishes, but kind of narrowed that down to what that looks like to really get our ag mech and our traditional, what we would all say, shop classes, right? Kind of get those re-going again, and I'm excited for that. He's got 2 full sections we have to turn kids away because we have safety standards in there that we have to have, obviously, like with welding and stuff. But build those up. There's CTE classes
So we get additional funding through that, and then also looking forward to hopefully next year be able to create probably 2 more additional graduation pathways by offering those as well. And so providing that, anytime we can offer grad pathways in our own building is a good day. So hopefully this kind of leads to the next step, and then we can add more pathways. So super excited about it, and just giving our kids, a lot of our kids want that opportunity to get their hands dirty, right, and do something vocationally, and without having to go to Area 30. This gives them an opportunity to do something just on a 1 period, not a half a day option. For some kids, Area 30 is great. For other kids, it doesn't work in their schedule, and so we're trying to get, you try to be all things to all people. We're just trying to create one more opportunity for our kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I move to approve purchasing the equipment for the ag mechanics program.
Lisa made a motion to approve the purchasing of the equipment for the ag mechanics program. Greg seconded. All those in favor? Carries. Great. Next up is the general obligation bond project.
In your board packets, you were provided the draft of the reimbursement resolution, which is labeled Exhibit A, a declaration of official intent to reimburse expenditures. We're seeking approval of the reimbursement resolution. However, to help put perspective and an expert analysis on this topic, we have several guests with us. Here in the front row, left to right, we have Luke Brueggemann. I said that right, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. Luke Brueggemann, he's the Vice President of Stiefel Public Finance, which is our municipal advisor. We have Kristen McClellan, who is our bond counsel and a partner at Ice Miller. And we have Stacy Barclay, the managing attorney at Sutherland, Ziner, and Barclay, which is our school attorney. So, ladies and gentlemen, man, the floor is yours.
Here, I brought some hard copies too, but I know it's up here. But if you want to use those to take notes. So the first thing we start with anytime we're looking at doing potential new bond issue, school corporation outstanding debt obligations. We've outlined all of those current bond issues now. So you've got your 2013 first mortgage bonds, 2015 refunding, 2017 refunding, 2012 refunding, and then the 2020 GO and 2021 lease bonds. We've outlined all of that here. Anytime we're starting to look at new structures for a bond issue, this is always kind of our base starting point right here. More importantly, though, is really looking at what the school corporation's tax rate is. Talking with Corey, I mean, the main thing is trying to maintain the 2021 rate of $1.32. So the school's tax rate is made up of 3 separate funds. First is your operations fund, that's in light blue here. In gray is your school's pension funds. And in blue, and dark blue, is the school corporation's debt service fund. If nothing is done today, if there's no general obligation bonds issued, that total tax rate would drop 15 cents, and really twofold. One for the operations fund decreasing, but also the debt service fund decreasing. So it really gives you a good opportunity to issue these GO bonds and be able to manage that tax rate that the school's been targeting for 2021. Layering on the potential $1.6 million GO bond issue, that's darker blue here. And this would be repaid back in 2 years. Really just filling in the tax rate for next year, but then also leaving you with capacity for any future projects that the school corporation has planned. So this would keep your tax rate up at the $1.32 level in 2023. But you can see here we're falling again in 2024. So leaving plenty of capacity for any future capital projects, any capital needs that you have at that time. Again, repaying this quickly as well. So it's kind of split up almost half and half, being repaid in the first year and then again in the second year. The legal parameters is really outlining a lot of what I just talked about. The max par amount that we're looking to approve tonight is $1.6 million. Of that $1.6 million, $75,000 would be going to pay professional fees and cost of issuance. That leaves the school corporation with $1,525,000 for hard and soft construction costs. The estimated interest rate, we always like to be conservative. We put 4% up here. In all reality, I think everyone knows rates are going up, but we're probably closer to 2.75, but again, just trying to be conservative, and that's what we based all of these numbers on. Using that 4% interest rate and the 2-year repayment that I just discussed, the estimated interest expense is $98,000. So Again, you're paying this back, really short, so it's not a lot of interest that you're repaying in that time. The maximum tax rate impact, we're required to put that up there, but that's really just, the max payment that you have in 1 year divided by what the school corporation's assessed value is. Does not account for any debt falling off, or any growth in the assessed value. When we do factor that in, that comes down to your last line there, now shown on the previous chart. So no impact over the 2021 total tax rate of the $1.32. So I'll stop there. Happy to answer any questions from the board or administration.
Thank you very much. You made it very clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a motion to approve the reimbursement resolution.
So moved.
Wes made a motion to approve the reimbursement resolution. Do I have a second? I'll second. Lisa seconded. All those in favor? Consideration of the teacher evaluation plan.
Legal Standard 12 requires each public school corporation to provide a copy of its staff performance evaluation plan to the IDOE, Indiana Department of Education. School corporations must also submit their staff performance evaluation plan to the IDOE for approval in order to qualify for any grant funding related to IC 20-28-11.5-8, subsection D. This includes the teacher appreciation grant that we talked about earlier tonight. Staff performance evaluation plans will need to be submitted by the end of the week, and so after you approve it, we'll get that submitted in. The evaluation plan is effectively the same as last year, except for a change to RISE 3.0 instead of 2.0, and language regarding the superintendent's evaluation based on the latest contract. Tonight, we are just seeking approval of the 2022-23 staff performance evaluation plan as required by the state.
Lisa made a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Joe seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries. Consideration of the Community Partnership and Development Coordinator.
South Putnam Community School Corporation was one of 58 districts across 40 counties awarded the Employability Skills Innovation and Implementation Grant, also known as the ES2 grant. The grant, which is $126,500, will focus on the Indiana employability skills of communication, collaboration, and work ethic. In 2019, the Indiana General Assembly passed Senate Enrolled Act 297 that states each school within a school corporation shall include interdisciplinary employability skill standards established by the IDOE in the school's curriculum. These skills are aligned with approved characteristics of the Indiana Graduates Prepared to Succeed, or the GPS performance dashboard, which will also launch and is launching as we speak. As part of the implementation aspect of the grant, we need to establish a community partnership and development coordinator for South Putnam to help facilitate the specific aspects of the grant as outlined in the packet and the information that I provided you. Therefore, this evening, we're just seeking approval of the CPDC, which is shortened for the Community Partnership and Development Coordinator, to meet the requirements of the grant.
Joe made a motion to approve the Community Partnership and Development Coordinator position. Greg seconded. All those in favor? Consideration. All right. Consideration of approval of Tana Gardner as the Community Partnership and Development Coordinator.
To get this grant moving, we need to put a person in that position that we just created. And so we're seeking the approval of Tana Gardner to the position of Community Partnership and Development Coordinator. Tana was selected for many reasons, but specifically for her unique roles in the district that align with the tasks of the position and her passions for improving educational opportunities for all of our students. And this is a K-12 position.
So moved.
Wes made a motion to approve Tana Gardner as the Community Partnership Development Coordinator. Lisa seconded. All those in favor? All right. Next up, consideration of approval of overnight trip requests.
In your packets were several overnight trip requests, most related to FFA functions. Tonight, we're seeking approval of those requests, and Mrs. Line is here if you have any questions regarding those, since her name was on all of them.
Do we have enough, white buses to take care of them?
No, one's down right now, and it's really a struggle.
I should have asked that earlier. I noticed we have, some issues once in a while with the white buses. Are they getting?
The last one that broke down.
I heard from a specific student that he broke it.
Oh, the handle.
Is that a different one? Yeah. Yeah. But no, seriously, I saw the bus in Greencastle sitting there and went by, and I thought, wow, another one? What's going on? Are they getting kind of old, or are they on a replacement schedule as well that we need to be mindful of, or what are your thoughts?
They, at least one would be up for replacement, because we have a 2010 and a 2011. The mileage on them isn't bad. It's about 75,000, but we're starting to notice a lot of things like that. I mean, handle rusted to the point where it was literally just like a fine point.
Right.
So it just pops off. Can't use it because it can't get out the back door. We replaced the starter on one, other's AC, so we can pull that one back. We've been waiting on parts because parts are an issue. So yeah, I would like to replace one of them with the next round.
I just want to make sure that we weren't going to have one break down with a bunch of kids.
Right.
Well, maybe if they're in the ag mechanics program, maybe they can fix it, right? Or is that a safety?
That's like tractor and welding and not. We can probably handle it.
I'm just making fun. So,
But those are on a rolling replacement plan. It's not something we just do out of the seat of our pants. They're on a rolling replacement plan.
Yeah, as part of the bus replacement.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's typically, balance of do we do a yellow one this year and try to work in a white bus. And so we're at that point now where we're wanting to work in a white bus on that direction.
would we keep one as a spare?
Yes. We have, the one is a 2018 and it's our newest bus. And so my plan would be to replace the 2010 with this next round, and then the year after, or 2 years after, replace the 2011.
Sorry to get off on that tangent, but yeah.
Like a motion to approve the overnight state trips.
Wes made a motion to approve the overnight request. Joe seconded. All those in favor? All right. Superintendent report.
Just real quick here, we are prepping for our first PD e-learning day on September 23rd. Our administrators and teachers will be participating in various roles in professional development while our students work at home, off campus, asynchronously, meaning not direct instruction, on prepared lessons and learning activities. This is the first for South Putnam, so we will be diligent in our execution of that, but we are sure to learn from each experience that as we go through it throughout the year. And therefore, just a reminder, students will have e-learning on Friday, September 23rd, and will not report to the campus. We're also, another great thing happening at South Putnam is we're working to develop an after-school care program in conjunction with the YMCA. We are at the very beginning stages of that, but we are hopeful to have it in place sometime after fall break. The YMCA is seeking and hiring staff members currently, so the sooner we can get it staffed, the sooner it will be in place. And so if you know anyone interested in doing a little part-time work after school, please send them my way and I will send them on to the YMCA.
Will it just be after school and not mornings
yeah,
too?
it's just an after-school program. We did a survey, I'll just comment on that. We did a survey to elementary parents, and the biggest response was for after school.
Mm-hmm. Are students eligible to participate?
I have to get the guidelines from the as far as staff members. Yeah. I have to get guidance from the YMCA on what age is that role.
And is there a fee then? I mean,
it is a fee-based, yes, but there is scholarships for financial hardship for families.
And where does the scholarship money come from?
The YMCA.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. They have a foundation and they help provide that.
Oh.
Yep. And it is for the scholarships are for working families, so they have to actually prove that they're working. It's not regular daycare program so parents can work. Yeah. Two more things. One, we did receive the state security grant, so we will be reinforcing several of our exits and entrances to the schools, hardening those and working on several other security measures throughout the district. That was a significant award. That was a matching grant of $100,000. So we'll be able to do a lot of good things security-wise to shore some things up. And last but not least, well, there's two more things. I just wanted to put a shout out to our custodial and our food services department because they've been through the ringer here at the beginning of the year. We had 2 water main breaks, and so the food services gone above and beyond to accommodate those boil orders, and then the custodial staff working on skeleton crew are getting things done and making our facilities look amazing. And so just wanted to have a huge shout out to them for going above and beyond, and just let them know that their work does not go unnoticed. And last, it's homecoming week, so let's go get a win. All right? Thank you.
Thanks.
Motions to
Good, very good. Any motion to adjourn? Greg made a motion to adjourn. Wes seconded. All those in favor? Meeting adjourned. Our next regular board meeting will be Wednesday, October 12th at 7 p.m. in the Central Elementary Music Room.
right here.